Hello everyone, welcome to video number 9, Maintain and Optimize your PPC campaigns. Let's jump right into it. Now campaign maintenance is very important for 3 reasons. First, we need to cut waste and loss in our campaigns. To do this, we need to delete or modify campaigns that are losing money or barely breaking even. Second, we also need to maximize profit for profitable campaigns by increasing bids and improving ads. The third reason is that we need to make sure that offers are still active on affiliate networks. In the next few slides, we're going to talk about how to do exactly that. Now, many people think that once you create a campaign, you're pretty much done with that campaign. But the reality is that creating a campaign is only 20% of the work. The other 80% is in campaign maintenance. In my opinion, it is as important, if not more important, than campaign creation. There are 3 types of maintenance tasks: administrative maintenance, merchant offer checks, and balance checks. Let's talk about each of them. The first campaign maintenance task is administrative maintenance. This includes checking your account alerts in Bing Ads. Those alerts may include payment issues and disapproved ads and keywords. Let's look at Bing Ads and see what alerts look like. Now for the rest of the video, I'm going to use one of my clients' Bing Ads account to demonstrate the process, just because your situation is most likely more similar to my client's account than to my account. And because of this reason, I would need to block out some private information of this client. And let's call this client Robert. Okay, let's go to his Bing Ads account. When you first log in the upper right corner, you'll see some notifications in here. So always remember to check them out to make sure that there are no critical issues that need your attention. Sometimes there may be account hold on your account because of some payment issue, or maybe there's some security concerns from Bing Ads. So always remember to check out the alerts in the upper right corner. Now for alerts, second, also check if there are any disapproved ads or keywords. In this case, actually there's one disapproved ad over here. So you can click on it and you'll be taken directly to the disapproved ads page. In this case, if you mouse over the icon for more information and click on it, you will see why this ad was disapproved by Bing Ads. As you can see here, they disapproved ad because it is about adult content, and also it is about pharmacy or healthcare products or services. On the next slide, we'll talk about how to deal with disapproved ads and keywords. So for now, at least you know how to see whether you have disapproved ads or keywords. Next, you also need to check whether some campaigns are not getting any impressions. We'll talk more about that in just a few minutes. The third thing that we need to check is whether some keywords have very low search volumes or low quality score. And last but not least, check whether your budget is okay for every campaign. Okay, let's talk more about some of the campaign administrative maintenance tasks next. For disapproved ads and keywords, I highly recommend that you study Bing Ads policies about ads and keywords. Here I'm listing some of the most important Bing Ads policies that I think we should all understand. To find those links, please download the presentation material for this video. You can copy and paste those links. For example, the ad content and the style policies cover ad style policies. Specifically, they cover capitalization, grammar, punctuation, spelling, etc. It also covers ad content policies, as well as destination URLs, display URLs, and landing page policies. So those are very basic policies that I think everyone should understand before they create any ads in their Bing Ads account. Bing Ads also has very specific policies about gambling and contest products, and adult content websites, and pharmacy and healthcare products. So please study those articles to understand what you can put in your ads. Just on a side note, you can actually apply to join the Bing Ads adult advertising program. Once you are approved, you can start promoting adult websites and products. If you go to this link about adult content policies, you should be able to find the link to join that program. Now, if an ad does violate Bing Ads policies, there's really nothing that you can do. You just have to promote a different product. But if you think that your ads meet Bing Ads policies, then what you can do, you can request for an exception. Let me demonstrate the steps. For the disapproved ad we showed earlier, if we want to see what's going on, if we want to see what we can do about this ad, we simply click into the ad. If you click on the more information icon, and if you scroll down, in the bottom you can see you can click on request exception to ask for an exception. For example, sometimes Bing Ads may think a product to be a pharmacy or healthcare product, but in reality, it might just be a supplement. You can explain to Bing Ads that it is a 100% natural supplement and it does not require a prescription. If everything's okay, Bing Ads might be able to grant your exception. Now for disapproved keywords, there isn't really much that we can do. We just have to delete those keywords from our campaigns. Now next, we need to check whether some of our campaigns are getting no impressions. There are several possible reasons. First, maybe just no one is searching for the keywords, and the demand for the product is not strong enough. And if that's the case, again, there's nothing much that we can do. We just need to move on to the next product. Now, under many situations, maybe your campaigns are not getting any impressions because their landing pages do not meet Bing Ads ad policies. There are a few very common reasons. First, pop-ups. These include exit pop-ups. Bing Ads specifically mention that they don't allow pop-ups on landing pages. So make sure that the destination URLs are not taken to a page where there's a pop-up, and then delete any ads with pop-ups in your campaigns. Second most popular reason is autoplay videos. If there's a video that does not require the user to play the video, then most likely that's one of the reasons that your ads are not showing up. And for the first two reasons, pop-ups and autoplay videos, you may be able to ask the merchant if they have a landing page without a pop-up or autoplay video, and if yes, ask them to give you the tracking link for that version of the landing page. I know that many ClickBank merchants are willing to cooperate and give you a different landing page link so that you can promote their products on Bing Ads and other PPC platforms. A third reason may be that on the landing page, there's no privacy policy. Again, Bing Ads is very specific about this. So check to make sure that all the landing pages in your ads have a privacy policy. Most likely, if you search for privacy on a landing page, you should be able to find it. But in rare cases, maybe the privacy policy is included in the terms of use or terms of service page. So make sure to look at that if you cannot find the privacy policy on the home page. Now the fourth reason is that there's no contact information on the landing page. The minimum requirement is that the user should be able to contact the merchant if they have a question or want a refund. This can be a phone number, a mailing address, or maybe even just a contact form. Now, if you just cannot figure out why your campaigns are not getting any impressions, you can actually contact Bing directly through email or through live chat. To access live chat, click on your account email in the upper right corner and click on Start a Live Chat. Now, I haven't figured out when the live chat is available on Bing Ads, but most of the time, you should be able to access it. Once you're ready, you can click on Start a Live Chat, and you will be connected to a customer service representative right away. What if your campaigns are getting very low search volumes? And most likely, there isn't really much that you can do, but there are two possible solutions. First is to use advanced techniques in video number 10 to bid on more generic keywords, or you can focus on other campaigns instead. Later on, when we talk about balance checks, I will mention that you don't have to worry about a campaign too much before it gets at least 100 clicks. So as long as the campaign is not losing your money, don't worry about it not getting too much traffic. Just let it run until it gets at least 100 clicks. Then you can start worrying about balance checks, bother with this campaign or not. Next, you may notice that some of your campaigns are getting very low quality scores. According to Bing Ads, the Bing Ads quality score shows you how competitive your ads are in the marketplace by measuring how relevant your keywords, ads, and landing pages are to customers' search queries and other input. Actually, Bing Ads put up a very good article about what a quality score is and what to do when you have a low quality score. So instead of reinventing the wheel, let's take a look at Bing Ads article on this topic. To read this article, please visit easytvmoney.com/quality score. According to Bing Ads, a quality score between 1 to 5 means that your keyword is underperforming. If it is 6, then the keyword is competitive. If it is between 7 to 10, then that keyword is very competitive. And that its CTR or click-through rate is higher than the average CTR of keywords targeting the same traffic. Now, 3 components determine your quality score: expected click-through rate, ad relevance, and landing page experience. Let's talk about them next. Expected click-through rate score is very straightforward. With the other 2 components being equal, a higher expected click-through rate means a higher quality score. So what you can do to improve your expected click-through rate? Obviously, the first thing that you can do is to improve your click-through rate or CTR. Here, Bing Ads mentioned several ways to potentially improve your CTR, including improving your ad copy, properly organizing your campaign, and improving your ad position. And you can click on this link to read more about how to do that. Second, they mentioned that make sure that your ad grabs the attention of your audience. Next, remove underperforming ads and keywords, and then add relevant keywords. So those are very basic principles that we should all follow in managing our campaigns. Later on, I will talk about specifically how we can improve our CTRs. But now let's talk about the second component that determines your quality score, which is ad relevance score. And they mentioned a few things that we can do to improve this score. First, keep related keywords and ads together. And in some of my students' campaigns, sometimes I see that they just put all different kinds of keywords into the same ad group. For example, if they're promoting a weight loss product, they may put a keyword such as weight loss solutions, fat burning pills, natural weight loss solution, natural weight loss. They put all those keywords into one ad group. Now we know that that's not a good solution. We should only group similar keywords in the same ad group. So in our example, we should put all the weight loss related keywords into one ad group and all the fat burning keywords into a second ad group. And the second point is to make sure your ad is relevant. That's self-explanatory. The third thing that you can do to improve your ad relevance score is to give customers an overview. And for this, there isn't really much that we can do because we don't have control over the landing pages. Now the last point is that we only have one landing page per product. That's actually a very good point. Sometimes we will see that a landing page has multiple products. And if the offer you're promoting is product A, while the landing page has product B, product C, and product D, then obviously you need to add keywords related to product B, C, and D as negative keywords. In addition, you may want to bid on the company name, but you will probably want to bid lower on that company name because it has other 3 products that you're not promoting or earning commissions from. Let's say Easy TV Money is the name of the company, and it has 2 products on the landing page. The first one is ETVM Project 2K, The second product is ETVM Project 2016. And further assume that you're promoting the Project 2016 product. But if the landing page takes users to the company page, on that landing page, they list two products, then you would make sure that you add Project 2K as one of the negative keywords. In addition, if you do want to bid on the company name, Easy TV Money, you probably would want to bid lower because it has more than just one product that you're promoting. Okay, hopefully this is clear to you. The next section talks about the landing page experience score. And unfortunately, again, we do not have control over a merchant's landing page. There isn't really much that we can do. But I still think that it's good to understand the third component, so spend some time to read through this. The next administrative maintenance task is to check your campaign budget. Obviously, we need to decrease budget for losing campaigns and increase budget for profitable campaigns. So let's see how we can do that easily. To do that, click on Reports, and then Billing and Budget. Then select Budget. In here, you can select a date range. I recommend that you select the data range from the first day that your campaign started running. So in this case, I'm going to start October 25th. And I'm going to click on Run. And then you can sort your campaigns by daily spend. Here I can see that the highest daily spend for this campaign is almost $22. So you check to see whether you need to increase the daily budget for this campaign to maximize its profit. You continue to do this for all the other campaigns. So that is all for administrative maintenance tasks. Next, let's talk about the second type of campaign maintenance task, which is merchant offer checks. Now, merchants may discontinue their offers on affiliate networks. And when that happens, you would be sending traffic to an offer that does not exist anymore. And obviously, you will be losing money on every click. So it is important that we check merchant offers on a weekly basis at least. And the most effective way to do that is to search for offer IDs in their corresponding affiliate networks. Now, if you remember our offers list template, we have already recorded the offer ID in its affiliate network. In this example, the offer ID is 12345, and obviously it's fictional. What you can do is log into the affiliate network. In this case, it is Max Bounty, and just search for the offer ID 12345. If you cannot find that offer ID, that means that that offer is not available on affiliate network. You should pause this campaign immediately. Okay, now let's talk about the third type of campaign maintenance task, balance checks. Before we go into details, please download my secret weapon for balance checks. You can go to easytvmoney.com/balance checks. So here's what this secret weapon looks like. And I promise you, this will save your balance checks time by at least 200%. Now, we'll talk more about this template in a little bit, but now let's go back to our presentation. Now, the most important thing about balance checks is discipline. I can't emphasize this enough. We have to form the habit of checking our campaigns regularly. A big mistake that many people make is that they create their campaigns and then just forget about them for 3 or 4 days. And when they log back to their account, they found out that they've lost a lot of money with their campaigns. That's how we should not run our campaigns. Next, let's talk about what we can do to avoid those mistakes. First, how often should we do balance checks? We should do balance checks more often at the beginning, right after a campaign is created. And then we can reduce the frequency as campaigns are better optimized over time. So I recommend that at least do it once a day at first. We should not treat our campaigns equally. What I mean by that is, some campaigns may require us to do balance check more than once a day, where other campaigns will only need us to do it only on a weekly basis. So we need to have a system to track how often we should check each campaign. So we'll talk about that more in our secret weapon template. And then please do not worry too much about a campaign if it only gets less than 100 clicks. This is because when a campaign is only getting 30, 40 clicks, we don't have enough meaningful data to make a decision about this campaign. So it needs to have at least 100 clicks for us to say that, okay, we have enough data for this campaign that we can make some decision about it. Next, let's talk about the process to do balance checks. The first step is to select the longest data range to see complete data. But at the same time, if we made significant changes on a specific date, then the start date should be the day after the date. By significant changes, I mean changes in bids and new ads. The reason we want to select the start date to the date after the significant changes were made is because we want to see the effects of those significant changes on our campaigns. Okay, so now I'm just going to go through all the steps, and at the end of the video, I'm going to apply those steps to Robert's account. Okay, so this is step 1. Step 2, we need to compare the earning per clicks or EPCs with cost per clicks or CPCs and adjust keywords bids accordingly. Now we need to consider 2 factors. One is the difference between EPC and CPC. The second one is the number of sales generated so far. Now if the EPC is substantially greater than CPC and there are at least 5 sales, we should increase bids more substantially. On the other hand, if the EPC is only slightly higher than CPC and or there are less than 5 clicks, I mean 5 sales, then we should increase bids only mildly. Now if the EPC is equal to or lower than CPC, now obviously we need lower bids. Now let's look at some fictional examples. For the first one, further we assume that this keyword has generated 5 sales. In this case, what should be the new bid for this keyword? Because the EPC $4 is significantly higher than the CPC, which is 55 cents, and this keyword has generated 5 sales, which is a lot, relatively. So we should significantly increase our bid for this keyword. In this case, I would increase it to $1.51. Now remember that our actual cost per click is always lower than our bid. And so the new bid, $1.51, is still significantly lower than the earning per click. So I'm confident to say that if I increase this to $1.51, this keyword will still be profitable. And let's look at the second example. The original bid is $1.01, and the EPC is $4, and the CPC is 55 cents. But it has only generated 1 sale compared to 5 sales in the first situation. In this case, I just don't have too much data to confidently say that this keyword is going to be highly profitable for sure. But I still need to increase the bid because it is indeed profitable. So in this case, I would only increase the bid mildly. So in this case, I would only increase it from $1.01 to $1.11. Now let's look at a third example. Original bid is $1.01, the EPC is 80 cents, and the CPC is 76 cents. As you can see here, EPC and the CPC are very close, and the number of sales is 5 sales. It's 5. So in this situation, we see that, okay, this campaign is just barely profitable, right? And in this case, most likely we have probably only made a few dollars or maybe $10, $20 overall. So in this case, actually we need to decrease the bid because the profit margin is just too thin. So in this case, I would decrease it from $1.01 to 96 cents. So I will need to continue to monitor this keyword and make sure that it is still profitable. It's likely that I might need to further decrease the bid for this keyword. Now let's look at the fourth example. The original bid is $1.01, EPC is 80 cents, the CPC is 95 cents, and we've made 5 sales from this keyword. In this case, obviously, we're losing money, and we need to decrease the bid. How much? So in this case, we can see that the actual cost per click is very close to the bid itself. So that means that our bid and the actual cost per click will most likely be very similar. So if you want to make this keyword profitable, the new bid should be lower than the EPC. But in this case, I might be willing to take a little risk, so I will make the new bid to be 81 cents. Hopefully, the actual CPC will be a little bit lower than 81 cents, maybe 71 cents or 72 cents, but at least this campaign will still be profitable. Okay, let's look at the last one. The original bid is $1.01, and the EPC is 40 cents, and the CPC is 95 cents, and we have only made one sale. In this case, obviously we need to significantly decrease our bid. In this case, I would make it 41 cents so that it is just about the same as the EPC. So in this case, the maximum CPC would be 41 cents. But again, 99% of the time, the actual CPC should be lower than the bid. So hopefully it's going to be like 31 cents. The actual CPC is going to be 30 cents or 35 cents. In that case, the campaign will become profitable. Okay, so these are just fictional examples to help you understand how I adjust keyword bids. Now, I have to mention that as of today, I adjust keyword bids solely based on my intuition. It's because I've been doing this for so long, so many years, and I just can feel right away how much I should bid for each keyword in each ad group. But I believe that practice makes perfect, and you might take you some time to get this right. So please take your time, familiarize yourself with this process, and I'm confident that after a few weeks, you will start getting a hang of this. The third step for balance checks is to compare ad performance based on CTRs or click-through rates, then pause the low-performing ads and create new ads based on the high-performing ads. Now, when we compare ads, we should make sure that each ad should have at least 45 clicks. This is because we need enough clicks for the data to make sense. So in my experience, 45 clicks is the magic number. And now, if there's only one golden rule in improving your ads, that is never ever stop improving your ads. I mentioned this in many different occasions that even today, for campaigns that have been running for over 3 years, I still work to improve my ads. And I will continue to do so for the next 1 year, 2 years, 10 years. This is because you can always make your ads better. Now, step 4 for balance checks is to document all your changes in campaign names and ad group names. So I have some abbreviations to document campaign changes. For example, if a campaign or ad group was created on December 20th, I will use C1220 to represent that. Now, most likely you do not have to put in year in campaign name or ad group name. You should be able to know that. So usually I do not put a year in campaign or ad group names. Now, if you pause a campaign or ad group, I use P1220. I paused this campaign or this ad group on December 20th. Increased bids, I use IB1220. Lower bids, I use LB at 1220. Pause keywords, PK. And I want to mention that I never delete keywords because I want to keep a record of the keywords I added and later I paused, because sometimes we just forgot what we did with our campaigns. 3 months later, you may add back those keywords you have deleted a few months back. So you do not want that to happen. So always pause your keywords, but do not delete them. Now, pause ads, I use PA. And again, never ever delete ads, because we want to have a record of all those low performing ads, so we can learn from them in the future and do not make the same mistakes twice. Of course, there's an exception. If an ad is disapproved by Bing Ads, we need to delete it from our account. New ads, I use NA to represent that. If you have updated a campaign, you can use U to represent that. So U 1220. So I recommend that if you can specify the changes, please do that. For example, if you increased bids, just use IB. And if you add a new ads, you can use NA. So in this case, if you did both changes, it should be IB NA 1220, right? Add that to the end of your campaign name. But sometimes you may both increase bids for some keywords and lower bids for other. In that case, obviously, you say IB, LB doesn't make any sense. You simply use U to represent that. Now, there's also another way to see the changes that you have made to a campaign or an ad group. So if you want to view the changes, when you're under the Campaigns tab, and you click on Change History to view all the changes that made to your account. But if you only want to see the changes you made to a specific campaign, you can click into that campaign first, and then click on Change History to view changes made to this campaign only. Okay, now we've gone through all the steps for campaign maintenance. Let's look at Robert's account and apply those steps and techniques in real time. Are you excited? Let's do this. So this is Robert's account, and I will only cover the steps for balance checks, assuming that you have already done the administrative maintenance and merchant offer checks. Okay, the first thing I want to do is I want to see how his campaigns are doing overall. To do that, select the start date to be the first day when your campaigns started running. Robert's campaigns start running on October 26th. But in this case, actually I would select the day before that, so October 25th. This is because there may be a time difference between Robert and my location, so I always select the day before that. We want to make sure that we include data from the first day the campaigns started running. Okay, so I'm going to start from October 25th to today, which is December 22nd, and to click on Go. The next, scroll to the bottom, and you want to make sure that you're selecting the maximum number of rows to display. In this case, is 200. This is because I want all my campaigns to show on the same page. And I'll explain why we want to do this in just a little bit. And next, we want to make sure that we are showing all campaigns, not just the enabled campaigns. So select all campaigns if you haven't done so. Now next, what we do is magic. So select all campaigns here, and then click on Export. So Bing Ads is going to download all your campaign information and data into a spreadsheet. Now click on Open. This is the spreadsheet, and we just downloaded it. It shows a lot of information here. But if you look at our secret weapon spreadsheet that we downloaded earlier, we will see that we only need a few pieces of information. Campaign name, the number of clicks, ad spending, earnings, and number of sales. Now, by the way, the other columns will be calculated automatically by Excel. I'll explain a little bit more about that later. So let's get the information we needed from the spreadsheet we just downloaded. So campaign name, we need to keep that. Campaign type, that's not relevant. It's not really, we know that all our campaigns are only for search, so we can delete this column. Next, delivery and status are actually very similar. I recommend that you keep status and delete delivery. Then quality score, and if you use my course, most likely your quarter scores are going to be very high. So in this case, you can keep it if you want to, but I'm going to delete it for the purpose of doing balance checks. Expected click-through rate, delete that. Landing page, we can delete that. Add relevance, delete that. Budget, we can delete that for now. We should have already dealt with budget earlier. Delete everything. Spend, remember that's what we need, so we'll keep that. Clicks, we need that. Impression, CTR, we do not need that for now. Okay, average app position, we don't need that. Average CPC, we do not need that because they will be automatically calculated by Excel in our balance checks template. So we'll do that as well. Average CPM, no need. Okay, we just delete the rest of the columns that we don't need. Now, here's what we have so after all this. As you can see here, we have spent and total spent. In almost all situations, they should be the same, so we just need to keep one. So I'm going to keep total spent. Next, let's look at the balance checks template. We have campaign name, clicks, and ad spend. So what am I going to do is I'm going to copy the data we downloaded from Bing Ads and paste them into the balance checks template. So to do that, we need to make sure that they're in the exactly same order. So I need to move status to the right, and then I can copy the 3 columns of information to Bing Ads. So copy everything and paste it here. Then we have clicks and ad spending here. As you can see here, just like magic, Excel automatically calculated everything here for the profit and loss, right? They also calculate the CPC because we have the clicks and ad spending. So we have all data. But for EPC, it's all 0 because we do not have the earnings data yet. And also, obviously, the profit and loss data is not accurate because we have not added in the earnings for each campaign. So now, the next step, we need to find the earnings and number of clicks for those campaigns. To do that, we'll need to log into Robert's affiliate networks. One thing I forgot to mention is that you will need to fill out the start date of your campaigns. So in this case, Robert's campaigns started running on October 26th. So that will be the date I enter here. So you can simply enter 10/26/2015 and click on enter. Now it is important to mention that in European countries and many other countries, you enter date differently than in the US. So for October 26, 2015, you may enter 26/10/2015. So please make sure that I really don't know how Excel is going to work in your country, but the only thing you need to make sure is that the format is correct for the start date here, which is in cell B1, and also today's date, which is in cell O1. Just make sure that the format for those 2 cells are correct, because we need these 2 cells to be correct to calculate the number of days passed over here, which is 56. As you know, if you double click on this, you can see it's also calculated automatically by formula here. Okay, so now let's log into Robert's affiliate networks to check out the earnings and sales. So I'm going to select the data range to be the same data range we selected earlier in Bing Ads. So the start date should be the first date when his campaign started running, which is October 26th. Again, I'm going to select one day before that, so October 25th, and I make sure that the end date is today. Click on Run Report. These are real-time reports that they're actually Robert's earnings. So you can see that Robert's campaigns from this affiliate network made 6 sales and he made $264 since October 25th. So here I'm going to sort by actions. And actually all the 6 sales are from the same product. And I do have the offer ID here. So I'm going to copy that offer ID. And I'm going to do a quick search. So since I'm a PC guy, so I can press Control plus F at the same time. And I can search for the offer ID here. And it is this offer. So we know we made 6 sales, so I enter the data here. So 6 and the earning is $264. So let's enter that. Okay, so as you can see here, once you enter the earnings data and the number of sales data, the EPC is automatically calculated for you. So it's $1.05. The profit loss cell is also automatically updated. So it's $149.89. As you can see here, Robert is making money with this campaign. So we can continue to do so for all of Robert's offers that have generated sales. So I'm not going to repeat that in the video. So we'll come back once I've updated all the data on this spreadsheet. Okay, I've just added all the earnings and sales from Robert's affiliate networks. And for all the other empty cells, that means that there are no sales for those products, for those campaigns. Okay, and as you can see here, this spreadsheet will automatically calculate the profit so far, so which is about $400, and the expected monthly profit to be $219. So this is also automatically calculated. If you download the spreadsheet directly from the link, you should be able to calculate those data automatically as well. Now, there are a few things that we also need to take care of. Because today is December 22nd, so I'm going to add the data updated on information here. So I'm going to add December 22nd, 2015, and copy that for all the campaigns that I've just checked. Now, as you can see, the next maintenance column also needs to be filled out, but we have to look at the campaigns individually to decide when the next campaign maintenance should be for each campaign. And the next column is status. Do you remember that spreadsheet we downloaded from Bing Ads? There's one column that says status. So we should copy that column to this template as well. But we have to make sure that we have not changed the order of those campaigns. So once I copy, I paste them here. As you can see here, some campaigns have already been paused either by me or Robert. So in this case, you can just change the color to those campaigns so that you can know that you don't have to worry about those campaigns anymore. So I'm going to mark all the campaigns that have been paused to gray. You may notice that some of those cells are green and some of them are red. This is because I added conditional formatting in this spreadsheet. If a cell, so for the column profit and loss, if a number is greater than 0, it will automatically be colored as green. And if it is less than 0, it will be automatically colored red. The same thing for the monthly profit cell over here. So you can have a very good understanding of how your campaigns are doing overall just by looking at this spreadsheet, right? As you can see here, the first 2 campaigns are losing money. That's probably why Robert paused these 2 campaigns. Now for the 3rd and 4th campaigns, we know that they're highly profitable. And then the next 3 campaigns are they're losing money. As you can see here, Robert has also paused these 2 campaigns that are losing money. Okay, so now we have an overall picture of how our campaigns are doing. We need to go to each campaign and see whether we can improve those campaigns by adjusting their keyword bids and improving their ads. So let's do that. Okay, so by looking at this balance checks template sheet, we know that we do not have to worry about the campaigns that have already been paused. So let's look at the third campaign. So we know that the EPC is $2.19 from here, and the CPC is $1, and we've made $390, and we've made $850, and the profit is $458. With that information in mind, let's look at the campaign. So this is the campaign. As you can see here, in the campaign name, we have kept all records of changes we made to this campaign. And there's only one ad group. Let's click into this ad group. Again, we need to keep in mind that the EPC is $2.19, the CPC is $1.01, and it is very profitable. In addition, we noticed that this campaign was maintained December 7th, right? So the first thing that we need to look at is whether we need to adjust the keyword bids. And because the EPC $2.19 is more than double the EPC, and this campaign is very profitable, and it generated 13 sales, which is more than 5 sales, as we mentioned in our slides. So we can definitely increase our bids significantly. So in this case, I'm going to select all keywords, and then I'm going to select Edit, and then change current bids. Because this campaign is very profitable, and again, the EPC is significantly higher than the CPC, so I'm going to increase the bids significantly. So I'm going to change it to $1.31. Now, had it generated like 100 sales, I would definitely increase the bids even higher. But in this case, it's only 13 sales, so I'm going to increase it not too dramatically. So $1.31, that's a good bid. So I'm going to click on Save. Now, as you can see here, I'm actually changing the custom keyword bids for each individual keywords. And I'm not changing the edit group search bid over here. So, but to be consistent, you can also change the edit group bid as well to $1.31. But as you know, because each keyword has its own custom bid, so changing the edit group search bid actually does not have any effect on those individual keywords. Another thing I'd like to mention is that if you have a lot of paused keywords in your ad group, you should select only the enabled keywords from here. So you don't have to look at the paused keywords. Okay, once we have changed those keywords in the batch based on the EPC and CPC, the number of sales, we also need to look at the individual keyword to see whether we need to further increase the bids for some keywords and decrease the bids from other keywords. As you know from the course, we are not setting up tracking for our campaigns yet, because I want to dramatically simplify the course to make it easier to learn for most people. That's why I recommend that we do not set up tracking at first. So in video number 10, I will share with you some advanced techniques, and one of them is to set up tracking for our campaigns. But I assume that at this point, you have not set up tracking yet. So because of this, we don't really know which keywords have generated sales, and if yes, how many sales they have generated. So in this case, we're kind of in the dark, right? So the first keyword, and it has 197 clicks, it may have generated 100% of the sales, or maybe just generated only one sale. We really have no way to know that, unfortunately. So this is really a trade-off that we have to take. Obviously, it is the best if we can set up tracking, but then it just complicates things by tenfold. Now, when should we start set up tracking? I would say that if a campaign has become a goldmine campaign, right, it's making you a lot of money every month, then you probably should go to video number 10 and learn how to set up tracking for this campaign. Okay, but now let's focus on the situation where we have not set up tracking yet. So in this case, when I look at the first keyword, 197 clicks, and the conversion rate is 6%, and the average CPC is 1.16. That means that pretty much it's always in the first position. So that is very good. Now, if you continue down and look at those keywords, for example, this keyword, and again, I'm not going to mention the name of the product. So let's just say the name of the product is product A. So, and this keyword is product A customer reviews. In general, this is a very good keyword, but in my experience, it will convert pretty well, but not as good as the product keyword itself. So in this case, I'm going to lower the bid a little bit. So instead of bidding on it for $1.31, I may decide to bid on it for $1.21 or $1.11, right? So in this case, I'm going to change it to $1.11. Next, this keyword is product A ingredients. Again, in my experience, this keyword might not convert at all or may not convert that well. In this case, I may also want to lower the bid a little bit. I do not want to bid so high on it, so I'm going to change it to $1.11 as well. So just continue this process and adjust your custom keywords bids as you see fit. In future videos or webinars, I will continue to share real example campaigns so I can share with you what keywords I think we should lower bids and what keywords we should consider increasing bids. Okay, once we're done with the keywords, now let's take a look at the ads. Click on Ads tab, and then we should create a new ad based on the first ad. So let's do that. Click on Create Ad to do that. When we create a new ad, we need to carefully study the high-performing ad and think about why it is performing better than other ads and learn from that and hopefully then make it even better. For more tips on how to write effective ads, please refer to Module 6. Once you're done, click Save to add the new ad. So far, we look at the keywords, we look at the ads, and the next step is we need to record the changes we have made to this campaign in the ad group name or the campaign name. And because this campaign has only one ad group, I highly recommend that you keep all the records in the campaign name instead of the ad group name. So when you're under campaign, click on settings. We can document the changes we made over here at the end of the campaign name. So if you remember, we increased the bids. We also add a new ad, and today's date is December 22nd. Once I'm done, click Save to save the new campaign name. So that's it for this campaign. So let's look at a losing campaign and see what we should do about it. So I'm going to pick this campaign over here. And as you can see here, it has generated 177 clicks, but no sales so far. So let's see what we should do about it. As you can see here, there are 4 ads. 2 of them are active, and the other 2 are paused. As I mentioned earlier, we should never delete our ads, but always pause them. So you can look at ads you've read before but are paused, and learn from those paused ads in the future. As you can see here, the first ad has generated 232 clicks. The CTR is 6.79%. The second one has 72 clicks, and the click-through rate is only 5.49%. And again, I also assume that you have not set up tracking for your ads yet, which we will cover in video number 10. So in this case, we can only compare the ad performance by their CTRs. So in this case, the first ad is much better than the second ad. We need to pause the second ad immediately. Okay, so this is the campaign that is losing money. But before we go to click into this ad, we need to make sure that we have changed the start date to be the original start date, which is when the campaign started running. So remember that date is October 26th. And again, we need to select the date before that, so it's October 25th. And then click on Go. And now let's click into this campaign that is losing money. So as you can see here, there are two ad groups for this campaign. And the first one is already paused by Robert. Actually, the first ad group is a so-called generic ad group, in which Robert is bidding on some more generic keywords. And the second ad group is a more targeted ad group, which only bids on product-related keywords. Let's call this product B. So the first ad group was not doing well. So it has generated 120 clicks, but no sales. So what Robert should have done is to set up tracking for those more generic keywords based on the techniques in video number 10. Now let's look at the second ad group, which is what this course teaches so far before video 10. And we only bid on product keywords. Let's click into it. So again, if you have a bunch of paused keywords, you can select all enabled keywords here to only show enabled keywords. And if we look at the balance checks spreadsheet, we know that this campaign has generated no sales, right? And the overall CPC is 21 cents. But that data here actually does not help us that much, because the first ad group that we saw earlier, which based on more generic keywords, has generated more clicks. So we need to look at the second ad group separately from the first ad group. So overall, this ad group has 55 clicks, and we have spent about $28 on this campaign. So it's halfway through 100 clicks for this ad group, and still no sales. And we know that from the campaign name that the average payout for this offer is $52. So in this case, we mentioned that if a campaign has less than 100 clicks, we should not worry about it too much. Of course, in this case, we should treat this ad group separately from the first ad group. So we can simply conclude that, okay, this ad group has not generated 100 clicks yet, so maybe we do not have to worry about it. So whether or not we should adjust the bids really depends on your preference. So if you want to be more conservative, maybe you want to decrease the bids right now. But if you're more aggressive, maybe you can say, okay, I can wait until this ad group has more than 100 clicks to start making changes to this ad group. But in this case, I'm going to assume that I'm more conservative and I want to make changes to this ad group. But before we make any changes, we also need to look at the change history for this campaign. If you look at the campaign name here, it says it was created on November 2nd, and we paused PAG, means paused ad group. So essentially we paused the first generic ad group on November 12th. We also updated bids, so UB means updated bids. So most likely we increased bids for some keywords and decreased bids for other keywords. That's why we say UB. So we updated bids on November 12th. And again, we also updated on December 11th, right? So most likely, again, we probably increased the bids and decreased bids at the same time. So because we updated the bids on November 12th and again on November 11th, so to get a more accurate picture of how much we're paying for each keyword, we should select the start date to be when significant changes were made. So in this case, we should select December 12th, which is one day after we made updates on this campaign. So let's select December 12th. And let's click on Go. This is the new data from December 12th to today. As you can see here, average CPCs have been updated for all those keywords. So we can see that for the first keyword, the new CPC is actually only 17 cents, and which is a lot lower than the average payout divided by 100 plus 1 cent, which is 53 cents. So this keyword is fine. Now let's look at the second keyword. And the bid is only 51 cents, but the average CPC is actually 62 cents. So this actually doesn't make sense. So most likely what happened is that maybe Robert decreased a bit for this keyword after between December 12th and today, but he just forgot to document that change in the campaign name, but which is okay. So the data has been updated for this ad group after we selected the new start date, December 12th. As you can see here, there are only 3 keywords with clicks since December 12th. So the first keyword, the average CPC is only 17 cents. The second one is 62 cents. And the third one is 98 cents. So this actually does not make sense because it cannot be true that the average CPC is higher than the bid. So most likely what happened is that Robert decreased the bids for those 2 keywords since December 12th, but he just forgot to document those changes in the campaign name. But that's okay. But that's assuming that he has not made those changes, and I can see that, because I'm more conservative and I want to further decrease the bids for those 2 keywords. So I can see these 2 keywords and click on edit, then change current bids. Then let's say I want to change it to 36 cents per click. Click on save. So that is done. Look at the other keywords that have not generated any sales since December 12th. Because we need more data to make our decision. So to do that, we need to move the start date to an earlier date. And when we look at the campaign name again, we know that we update the bids before December 11th. The last time we made the changes to the bids is November 12th. So let's select that start date to be November 13th. Then click on Go. As you can see here, those keywords with higher bids of 51 cents still haven't generated any sales since November 13th. And as indicated under the delivery column, it's either because a keyword has a low search volume or there's just not enough searches for them. So we should not be overly concerned about those keywords. But again, to demonstrate the step, I would like to decrease the bids for those keywords with 51 cents as their bid. I'm going to select those keywords. Then click on Edit. Then change current bids. And I'm going to change it to 36 cents as well. Click on Save. Okay, now we're done with the keywords. Let's click on Ads tab to take a look at our ads. Now we'll compare ad performances. We should select the start date to be the last time when we made significant changes. Now that date was December 11th as indicated in the campaign name. So in theory, we should select December 12th to be that date. But the problem with this situation is that we just don't have enough data, enough clicks to compare those keywords. As you can see here, most of those keywords have only a few clicks. Some even have 0 clicks. So in this case, we have to select an earlier date. So next, let's try an earlier date that we made significant changes to this campaign, which is November 12th. So we're going to select November 13th. Click on Go. And again, we still don't have enough data to compare those ads. Remember, the minimum clicks for each ad should be 45 clicks. So in this case, we just have to select the start date to be when the very first campaign started running, which is October 26th, if you remember. So let's select that date. And then again, I usually select one day before that, so October 25th. Let's click on Go. As you can see here, none of those ads has generated more than 45 clicks. So it's pretty safe to say that it's too early for us to draw any conclusions about those ads. But again, sometimes you may be able to see the trend even before they each get 45 clicks. For example, the first ad has 14 clicks. The click-through rate is 4.91%. The second one is 23 clicks, and the click-through rate is 4.07%. And one might be confident enough to conclude that the first ad is going to be better than the second ad. So it's really up to you as to whether to draw this conclusion. So for me, I usually like to simplify my life, and I do not want to over speculate things. So I would just wait until each ad has at least 45 clicks to decide which ad to keep. Okay, now that we have looked at the keywords and ads, we can record the changes we made to this campaign. Although this campaign has two ad groups, but the first ad group has already been paused. So we should record our campaign changes in the campaign name instead of the ad group name over here. So we are under the campaign, click on settings, and here we can document the changes we have made today. So if you remember, we lowered a bit for our campaign. We can say LB 1222. And remember, we did not make any changes to the ad. So that will be all. We can click on save to save the campaign name. Okay, now that we have looked at a profit campaign and a losing campaign, you should have a pretty good idea on how to do balance checks for your campaigns. Now let's go back to the balance checks spreadsheet and take a second look. If you want, you can highlight the column L for status and click on data and sort sheet by column A to Z. So in this case, we can just put all active campaigns together and put all the paused campaigns later. So we can focus on the active campaigns only. And remember, we still have this column called next maintenance. We need to decide when we should do the maintenance for each campaign. Okay, so for the first campaign, this is the campaign that is making Robert a lot of money because it is profitable, it is pretty well optimized. So I can say the next maintenance should be about in a week. So here I can just put a week from now, which is December 29th, 2015. Now for the second one, because it is losing money, so I probably need to check it more frequently. So let's say maybe 3 days from now. So that would be 25th, 2015. Again, that's Christmas Day, so I may not have time, but for the sake of this video, I'm going to put it down as December 25th. Now the next one, as you know, it has only generated one sale from a total of 110 clicks. So seems like it is a pretty slow campaign. So it's probably safe to say that I only have to do the campaign maintenance a week from now. So I'll also put down 29. Now this one, I did not go through the campaign maintenance. Let's just say that I have. And because this campaign is losing money, and right now so far it has generated 68 clicks, so I probably need to do campaign maintenance sooner than a week from now. So let's also put down 3 days. The next one, the same thing, I'm going to put down 3 days from now. And for this one over here, it has only generated 55 clicks, and we have only spent $4.56 on it. So I can probably say that, okay, we probably don't have to worry about it for a long time. So let's put down 29. So for the rest of the campaigns, as you can see here, they have all generated very few clicks, from 2 clicks to 37 clicks. So it's pretty safe to say that I only have to maintain those campaigns a week from now. So I'm going to put December 29th for the rest of them. So the next time when you do campaign maintenance, you would repeat the same process. So you go to Bing Ads, select all the campaigns, and download all the data, and then copy the campaign name, the number of clicks, and the spending into this template. And then you log into all your affiliate networks to find out the earnings and the clicks for all your campaigns. Then, based on the data you have here, adjust your keyword bids, improve your ads, and then that's it. I know we've spent a lot of time on this today, but actually once you get into the rhythm, it's actually really fast. Okay, that's all for campaign maintenance. I do have some closing remarks to share with you. First, most of our campaigns will be mediocre or lose money. And that's just the reality. But that is totally okay. We should not expect all our campaigns to be profitable or highly profitable. Actually, 80% of our profit comes from only 20% of your campaigns, which is the so-called 80-20 principle. Of course, it can 85% of your profit comes from 15% of your campaigns. The exact number does not matter. What matters is that not all campaigns are created equal. So we should focus on the campaigns that are winning us money, that are making us money, and don't sweat over campaigns that are not doing so well. So our goal is really to find the 20% gold mine campaigns. So PPC is a numbers game. So our goal should be to create as many campaigns as we can, and then find those gold mine campaigns. But I do want to mention that we should not sacrifice quality for quantity. No matter how many campaigns we are creating, we need to stick to the formula and stick to the course and make sure that we're doing things according to the course. Then practice makes perfect. It's impossible to expect anyone to master this course and the process overnight. Do you still remember the 1% challenge I mentioned in the first video? So please keep that in mind. Practice, practice, and practice. I guarantee that if you spend at least 1 hour per day for 3 months, you will master the PPC game. So please be persistent and never give up too easily. Because this is a real business. If someone tells you that you can make $10,000 in 1 week or overnight by click a button, they're scammers. They're lying to you. Because if something is that easy, everyone will be doing it. And if it is that easy, probably it won't last very long. So treat your PPC business as a real business. Spend time on it, spend money to learn it, and improve your skills until one day you truly master the trade. So thank you for watching this video, and please send me your questions or thoughts. I would love to hear from you and get your feedback. I'll see you in our next video, which is video number 10, and we'll cover some very advanced techniques on how to scale up your campaigns and maximize your profit. So if you only want to make $500 per month, or maybe $1,000, $2,000 per month, what you have learned so far should be sufficient. But if you want to learn some very advanced techniques that I personally use to make $5,000, $10,000, even $50,000 per month, then you will need to learn advanced techniques that I share in video number 10. But I do recommend that you learn the basics first in video number 1 through video number 9. Once you master the techniques I mentioned in the first 9 videos, then you can move on to video number 10. Otherwise, it's going to be very overwhelming for most people. So please take your steps to learn the first 9 videos first, and then when you're ready, you can move on to video number 10. Thank you again for your time, and I'll see you soon.